Hello, online crew. How was everybody's Easter? It's been a long Easter break. Well, not long enough, really, but probably a little bit different one for most of us to what you were normally doing. Normally, Easter is a time where people travel and get together, and I certainly know for my family, normally Easter is a really social time for us and our friends and our families and all the rest of it. So I just want to share with you guys my Easter and the lessons that I took from it. And I'd love to know, how was your Easter, guys? Like, let me know, in the comments section. Was it relaxing? Was it strange? Was it really quiet? Was it peaceful? Like, how was it for you? Because we're obviously in really weird times where we've had this awesome opportunity to have a 4-day break, but we're all in isolation. So I just want to talk about that. For those of you that, we haven't met before, my name's Helen Martin and I'm your online crew captain. So I'm here 5 days a week, unless there's good reason, like last week, I didn't go live. Who picked I wasn't live on Friday, although my video went up? So I did put a video up on Good Friday, which would be Easter Thursday night for a lot of you, that it was actually a premiere video. Who picked it? But yeah, I come live 5 days a week and we talk about all things social media. So we have the most amazing online crew community here of entrepreneurs, home-based business owners, direct sellers, those in network marketing, MLM, etc. And we are learning to leverage social media to build our businesses online. So obviously there's huge opportunities in the online world, and when we can build a business online and leverage social media and use attraction marketing strategies, then we can have wonderful businesses, which is what we're all striving for. So that's what we're here to do. So I want to share with you my Easter sort of journey, if you like. Really, really intriguing to me, probably because normally Easter for my family, some of you may be aware that we have a farm that's only 15 k's out, like the back road. So we live, many of you would know, you've seen my view, we look at the ocean. And I just look out that window there and I'm looking at the ocean and the town that we live in, and it's awesome. But out the back road that way, if we just travel 15 k's, we've got a rather large farm, which is just so picturesque, and we've got an amazing setup there that's undercover. We've got a caravan and recliners and a fire pit and sort of a bit of a kitchen setup, but it's camping, literally. There's a farmhouse there, but that's rented out to other people. But we have this spot on the property that we camp, and normally Easter it's probably 4 or 5 families with all their kids. All the kids go motorbike riding. We hardly see the kids. They're just riding, play games. Adults, we drink around the fire and have fun. And it's just, I don't know, we have this huge Easter egg hunt on Sunday and it's just amazing. But this year, it was just the 4 of us. It's just me, Paul, and the boys. So it's a really weird experience. But I got to say I loved it. And here's the change of perspective that's really intriguing to me. Is Good Friday, you couldn't get me out of the house here. I had so much work to do, work. The boys went out Friday night. Paul and the boys went out, Thursday night. I couldn't go Thursday night. I had calls all afternoon and evening and whatever, and Good Friday, work. Don't have time to go to the farm, still got too much work to do. I got out there at 6:00 p.m. Good Friday. So pretty much wasted that day to spend with my family. Come yesterday, I didn't want to come back in. I didn't want to leave the farm. I didn't want to come back into the house. I would still be there if I didn't have calls this morning going live from the paddock. Seriously. I had to come back in because I smelt like campfire and all that kind of stuff, but I had calls this morning, so I had to come back in. But I tell you what, guys, I would be sitting in that paddock going live right now if I didn't have to be here. So the change in perspective from me from Friday to Monday, worlds apart. worlds apart. So I just want to explore that for a second. But who's here with us? I do want to say hello to a few people. Before I do that, I want to welcome 3 new members to our coaching community, which is Obi. Obi, I've got no idea how to pronounce your last name, but welcome, darling girl. We've got Obi, we've got Fiona Turnbull, and we've got Louisa Date, new members to our coaching community. So welcome, guys. We've got the Lead Magnet Bootcamp happening in there this week. So if you guys want to learn how to create lead magnets to offer some kind of resource out to your fans and followers to build an email list and create, help build your brand, that's what we're doing this week. So all the details regarding that is in the description above. So, hello, Crystal. How are you? Good to see you here. And Henry, thank you for saying hello to Henry. Henry's my my little fish here. He's my bot when I plug him in. So I hope you had a wonderful Easter, Crystal. We've got Michael. High five, Mike. I hope everyone had the best Easter possible. Hello, Edith. Hello, Patricia. We got Gloria, life member in the coaching community. Hello, Heather. How are you? One of our VIP members. Hope you enjoyed your weekend. Also one of our VIP members as well. How are you and the family? Well, the family is still out at the farm. I'm here home by myself. They're still out there. School holidays, obviously, for the kids. So, yeah, they're still hanging out there. Cindy, how are you? Hello, Olive. Hope you had a magnificent Easter weekend. Hello, Janet. Restful and lovely. I've never been so relaxed. I'll talk about that in a minute. Hi, Mel. Anybody that looks like that, it just means you're watching from my group. So I'm broadcasting in 2 different places, so the viewership is split. I've got some people watching from my business page and some people watching from my free group, which is called Social Media Strategies for Home Business Owners. So if you're watching from the group, you have to give StreamYard permission for me to see who you are. So the very bottom link in the description will say StreamYard.com/Facebook. You just need to click that link for me to see who you are. Hello, Laurie. Hope you enjoyed your weekend. Yes, thank you. Hello, Beth. Glad you were able to have some downtime with the family. We had a relaxing time, Zoomed with friends and family. Different, but great. Peaceful and productive, Olive said. Awesome. Hi, Laurie from Edith. Quiet, just the 2 of us at home. I was busy with training, so I'm sure a lot of you use the time to get stuck into a bit of training. Did you? Online training, quiet day, church online, family gatherings on Zoom, great meal for 2 by my talented wife. Oh, yum, we love good meals. I got to tell you, for those of you, I mean, who likes camping? Who doesn't like camping? That's always interesting. Some people just can't fathom camping. Like you're more of a cabin person or a hotel person, those kind of things. And I was probably a bit like that but Paul has just done a magnificent job out there. And I mean, he's sort of built a bit of a kitchen and recliners and the caravans out there, and he's built a toilet out there, and it's, it's just crazy stuff. But have you ever had a roast cooked by a campfire, guys? It is the best. So by campfire roast, we had actually a roast chicken with vegetables, carrots and potatoes and onion and pumpkin and zucchini, and oh my gosh, it was just roast by the campfire, guys. There's nothing like it. Mel, you picked, you're talking about the premiere video. There's the red words, premiere video were a big clue. If you know what you're looking for, Olive, that is true. Yeah, it was weird. Tried to get things done I normally wouldn't have time for. Our Easter was quiet but good, but also really sad. My dad won't talk to me and therefore is shutting out his only 2 grandkids. Oh, that is sad, Crystal. Hopefully he comes around. I'd love to see you come. Maybe we need to do a retreat at the farm, guys. What do you think? There's plenty of room. We can have a massive retreat at the farm. I want to live on your farm. And sorry, don't know who that is. Just give StreamYard permission for us to see who you are. But good to see you here. I just feel so incredibly grateful. And the shift in the mindset. So this is just what I want to share with you. So Good Friday. Couldn't get me out of the place. I had a lot of things to deal with, a lot of things I wanted to do before I went away because I knew I was going out there for a few days and I didn't want to have to come back in home and break that like nature. So yeah, I didn't get out there till 6 o'clock. And the only reason I went then is if any of you guys know anything about kangaroos and dusk, like it's the worst time to drive out in the country is when the sun's going down. That's when the kangaroos come out, and that's when a lot of car accidents happen with roos when they're so I was like, I need to get out there before I'm going to get hit, because there's a lot of kangaroos out near the farm. So that's why I went out there. It took me a while to relax. But this is what I did, guys. I did have my phone and I have intermittent reception. So some of you would know I'm still messaging back and forth, checking the groups every now and again, just doing little bits and pieces, but my computer doesn't go out. It's not worth it even, because we don't have strong enough internet out there. I couldn't do calls out there. I have gone live out there before and I think it worked from memory. So yeah, but it's a bit intermittent. So I sat on the recliner and I even read books, which I'll get to in a moment. I never read books, guys. I'm an Audible type of person. Do you guys, like when you lead a really, really busy life, you don't have time to sit and read a book. So I listen to things via Audible. So I sat and read books, and I'll get to that in a sec. We played Pictionary. Do you know what that is? With the boys. It was hilarious, because there's nothing else to do. I mean, they'd ride their bikes and they had their push bikes there as well as their motorbikes and stuff like that. But we played Pictionary, we played cards, we went for walks around the property. I cuddled with my boys on the lounge chairs, and I relaxed. I have never slept so much in 4 days. I think the country air and the natural melatonin that happens when the sun goes down and the moon goes up. Do you know what I'm talking about? I tell you, one of the biggest lessons I've learned, and this is what I'm sharing with you, get a change of scenery, guys. You got to have a change of scenery to really shift your perspective, stress levels, things like that. It is very difficult, and that's why I feel so grateful that, we were able to isolate somewhere else other than the four walls of our own home. So this is obviously unique to myself and my family, but for you guys under normal circumstances, or whether it's just deliberately doing something for yourself, like, I don't know, taking a bath or, whatever it is for you that relaxes you. But the change in my mindset and the change in perspective of things around me was massive. So I came home in yesterday because I had early morning calls. Although, as I said, I'll tell you now, I'd be going live from the farm right about now in my farm girl gumboots if I didn't have to be in here this morning. But in one night, almost everything's been undone. Now, what I mean by that is I came home and I worked on my computer for probably 6 hours straight till about midnight. Work, because I had a list of things to do that as soon as I got in. I didn't sleep last night. I'm pretty sure that's because I was staring at a computer screen for 6 days straight. I've had the most interrupted sleep last night. It was awful. I just tossed and turned all night. And this morning I've got a massive headache. Now, I'm not saying any of that to make you feel sorry for me, but see the difference? I love technology and I hate technology. Can you relate to that, guys? I love technology in the way that enables us to connect with people. And at the moment, with our family and friends and Zoom and Messenger and stuff like that, we can connect with people all around the world and build beautiful relationships and build businesses online. But somewhere along the line, we need to balance this a bit better. Well, maybe you guys already do, but I obviously don't. And so one of the lessons for me is I really need to get off the computer earlier than computer straight to bed. We all know that, like the rays that it has, in your mobile phones and your computers, it's really not good for you. You should get off technology at least an hour before you go to sort of sleep. But for me, I think I need to get out the farm a little bit more often. That fresh air, the moon, the sun, the wind, the natural melatonin, let it's doing its thing, the connection with the kids, playing games with them. Because normally at Easter, they'd be with their friends, motorbike riding all day. And that didn't happen because their friends aren't there. It was just the four of us. But I loved every minute of it. When I was out there, I just laid on the lounge, chair, the recliner in front of the fire, went for walks. Like, it was just amazing. But I feel like in less than 24 hours, I'm back to where I was Good Friday. So there's a massive lesson for me in managing that and managing my tech time and relaxing before I go to bed. And so there's definitely lessons in all of that for me, because while I was out there, it was absolutely amazing. Do you guys feel that when you're on the computer a lot, that you're a little bit wired and, you know, sometimes, excuse me, sometimes you just need a break from it and just go and do something else? The other thing for me is the massive difference that sleep makes. I slept a lot because I could. When the sun goes down and the moon goes up and you're sitting around a campfire and your natural body clock does its thing, like 9:30, you're ready for bed. And that's not me at all, ever. So I was going to bed about 9:30, having an awesome night's sleep, just really, really deep sleep, and you're up really early in the morning ready to start the day again. The interesting thing, though, is food patterns and eating patterns and stuff like that, not craving anything sweet, not getting hungry, drinking lots of water, like just it's chalk and cheese from the farm to my home. Just lots of lessons in that for me about sleep and trying to get more of it. Sleep deprivation is not a very cool thing, is it, guys? Now, here's the other thing I wanted to share with you. So I took a few books out there, and there's one book that I keep revisiting every probably few months. I've mentioned this book before, and I want to mention it to you again because this book is just amazing. If you really grasp these concepts in your life, you will have a lot happier life. Okay, so I'll get to that one in a minute. And a point that I want to make, something that happened in my life. A lot of you guys would be aware of this in the last week or so if you've been hanging around here. That wasn't very pleasant in the last week or so, and this book sort of helped me put that into perspective as well. So there was 2 books that I read. This is the first one. I didn't get through this completely, but this is Today's Woman. This is actually an Australian woman, Miriam. But this is all about life balance. We can all do that with that, you know, at certain times, practical tips and tricks for overcoming stress, guilt, and overwhelm. And this is really obviously targeted at women. Sorry, guys, about we just try to do it all. You know, mother, businesswoman, homemaker, wife, you know, all the rest of it. So there's some really good strategies in there. I won't go into that today. What I want to go into is who knows this book? Who's seen this book before, who's heard me talk about this book before. I'm not going to talk about all of them. I want to talk about one of these agreements. This is called The 4 Agreements by Miguel Ruiz. I pick up this every few months because just because you read something once doesn't mean it all soaks in and suddenly life's wonderful. There are 4 agreements. I'll tell you what they are, but I want to concentrate on one of them, which while I was at the farm and just sort of relaxing and taking all of this in, it's like, man, that's so right. That's so right. So this is another lesson. So the 4 agreements: be impeccable with your word. So when you speak of others, you know, and even about yourself, things like gossiping has no place here. That kind of thing. Be impeccable with your word and how you talk about other people and about yourself, and, you know, that kind of thing. Second one is don't take anything personally. That's the one I want to explore in a second. Don't make assumptions. When we make assumptions, we get our knickers in a knot big time. We often will make assumptions about what somebody else is thinking or feeling or reacting to you, and you've got no truth to that. But we often make a lot of assumptions about what somebody might be thinking or how somebody has reacted. And then we get all churned up about that. But reality is you've made an assumption. You've got no idea. Okay, so don't make assumptions. The 4th one is always do your best. Just always strive to do your best. What I want to concentrate on is don't take things personally. So when things happen to you, this is something we all got to remember. So please remember this, as I've got a few notes as I was reading down that chapter, because it was important for me to remind myself of this, and you guys need to remind yourself of this as well, because things hurt. When people say things to you, they're nasty to you, they try to bring you down, they do certain things, it's actually got nothing to do with us. I've spoken about this before many a time, but I just want to dive a little bit deeper in what the book says, not what I'm saying, what the book says. And remember this for yourself in your lives, because this is a really important lesson for all of us to absorb, okay? So the second agreement is don't take anything personally. So nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, not as. Okay, you would have heard that before. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. How many times have you made you suffer? I know I have in the last sort of week or so. You've needlessly suffering because of something that somebody else said or did. But you took it all on board, reacted to it, offended by it, pissed off by it, whatever it is. So somebody else has done something, but you've reacted to it and it's caused you to suffer in some way. I think we're human. We all do that, don't we? So I'll give you an example, and this is in the book. Let's say you and I are walking down the street and I don't really know you, but I walk past you in the street and I say to you, hey, you're really stupid. So that's what comes out of my mouth. So I'm calling you stupid. Do you believe me? Do you take on board that? Are you hurt by that? Do you react by that? Do you bite back and go, what the hell are you talking about? Or do you think, well, maybe I am. That's how I think about myself. So they're just reinforcing what I'm already feeling. See the different scenarios that somebody could react to that. But I'm a stranger. I've walked past you and I've called you stupid. So the reason that I've called you stupid is from my world. And what this book is reminding us of is that I live in my own world, in my brain. You live in yours. Correct? Nobody else lives in your world. Nobody else lives in your head. You're the only one that lives in your brain, your head. So everything you say, everything that comes out of your mouth, any kind of feedback, reaction, words that you use again, towards somebody else is from your world. It's not from my world. So if I walk past you and go, hey, you're really stupid, it's coming from my world, my experiences, my issues, my self-belief, my world. So when people speak words and tell you things and give you their opinion, it's coming from their world, not your world. And we would do ourselves big favors if we just remembered sometimes when we heard things, well, that's from their world. That's their perspective. That's not my reality. That's not my world. And you let it bounce off. Now, if you can come to the place where you could do that, you are, what's the words the book says? You are immune to the poison. Immunity to the poison is the gift in the second agreement. So if I say to you, you are so stupid. You're just so stupid. So you might go, well, no, I'm not. What are you talking about? Or, oh, am I? Somebody that does that and go, well, yeah, maybe I am a little bit. You've just taken on the poison of the other person. Okay, from their world. It's not your world when somebody is saying nasty things to you or giving you their feedback or something. So we would do ourselves a massive favor. One of these 4 agreements, don't take things personally. The opinion of others comes from the world of the person that is saying the things. Does that make sense to you guys? I know you know this. I know this is not new, but sometimes we need reminding. And this was a good lesson for me over Easter to pick this up again. Every few months I do this, pick this up again and remind myself if somebody is saying something about me that's not favorable or whatever, that's coming from their world. It's not my stuff. It's their stuff. So when somebody is, there's somebody coming up my driveway. Sorry, squirrel moment. When somebody is doing something, saying something that's not necessarily positive, please remind yourself, that's not my world. It's not my world. And don't let it come in. I know it's easier said than done, and I've lived this the last sort of week. I got really hurt by something, terribly affected by that. But at the end of the day, it wasn't mine to worry about. It was somebody else's stuff for whatever reason in their life that they needed to project that. But I let it in. I took the poison. I drank the Kool-Aid. I took it in and let it affect me. Am I making sense to you guys? We cannot take things personally because it doesn't come from our world. It comes from somebody else's world. And I think, reminding ourselves of this is really, really important, because people hurt. But people only hurt you if you allow them to hurt you. Remember, you live in your world. You're the only one that lives in your world. I'm the only one that lives in my world. I'm sharing with you, like, openly and honestly, like, Easter that's just gone by. I was in the most peaceful place for most of the weekend, except picking up my phone and answering messages every now and again when I had internet. But in one night, last night, I feel like it's all been undone. But that's my world. It's only in my world and my perspective, and I know what shifts my perspective. As soon as I go out to the farm and I breathe in that fresh air and get around that campfire, I'm relaxed. So what do I need to do more of? It's only 15 Ks out the back road. I need to do more of that just to de-stress and, things like that. I have no idea who that is. Anyway. So does that make sense? I've read the 4 Agreements. Love it. Love it. I've read it. If you have not read this, and this is not for royalties or commissions or anything like that, I point this out to you because you will have a better life when you live your life by these 4 agreements. So again, be impeccable with your word. The second one is don't take anything personally. Third one is don't make assumptions. Don't assume what other people are thinking or feeling. Ask them. That's a huge one. Assuming what somebody is thinking about you or of you or whatever. This is a big one because you guys get all stewed up on what people think about you. You got no idea what other people think about you. That's from their world, not your world. And always do your best. Okay? I'm going to leave it at that. So that's my lesson. So I'm going to take away from my Easter that I need to get off technology more. I need to give more time to myself to relax and just change perspective. It doesn't take long. But also not come back in too quickly to going from relaxing out the farm for a few days to 6 hours straight on the computer. I know you guys are hearing me because some of you have probably spent a lot of time on the computer this weekend. Would that be this Easter? Would that be fair? There would probably be a lot of things that you would normally do, be going out doing and socializing that you haven't been doing because of the isolation. Like, it's been a little bit weird. I'm so grateful just to have the time that I did, out at the farm to sort of just detox a little bit. But I think I need to detox a little bit more often. I've heard of the 4 Agreements and I need to get that book. Yeah, definitely. What people think of me is none of my business. And that's how we all need to learn to think. I think we know that. And I've talked about that a lot here, but it's like personal development. Just because you read a book once or you do affirmations for a week doesn't mean you suddenly got this amazing bulletproof personality. These things need to be worked on over and over again. Do you agree, guys? Like, sometimes we just need reminding of things like this to go, yeah, that's right. Just put it back into perspective and just practice those thoughts. So when you retrain your brain by being reminded of these things, then it becomes your new normal, going, well, that's not my problem. It's not my problem. And just let things bounce off you. How much easier would life be if you could let things bounce off you and not absorb them or not take the poison like the book says? Definitely need to get those books, especially the 4 Agreements. Yeah, if you've never read the book before, guys, it's like simple reading. Look, it's not even that thick. It's big words, big writing. It's not little tiny, teeny, writing. Oh, Megan didn't. Gee, you're disciplined. Didn't even turn my computer on. Weren't you home, Megan? If I was home, I probably would have worked all weekend. I think it just needs, this is a sign for me. Just get out of the house more often where your computer is not located. Makes sense. Hi, Helen. Glad you had time off at the farm. Thank you. I'm not sure who that is, but thank you. I can totally relate. I spend too much time on the computer. I don't know this book, but now I want to find a copy. Yeah, definitely. Just do yourself a favor and get the book because it'll change. If you can adopt them, those 4 agreements, it can potentially change your life in a much better way. Anyway, Jade, I definitely need to work on that. It's not my problem. Thank you. And that's why I'm just raising it with you, because I've had some, obviously, things that I've evaluated from myself. But just, unless I was out the farm, I wouldn't have picked up the book again. So just that change of perspective, allowing myself to take that time out, being with the family, I really actually enjoyed. I mean, we would have had a hoot if we had all those families out there like we do every Easter. We just have a ball. But it was actually kind of nice just to connect. The boys haven't, like, they're not even home yet, and they went out Thursday night. They haven't touched a PlayStation. They haven't touched a computer. They haven't touched an iPad, and they're not even talking about it. Like, for them, very grateful for them to have that experience of just being out in nature and having fun as well. So lots to learn from that. And that I admire, Megan, because Megan was home. She just made a decision to have a complete break. I think even like that's the next step for me, being able to go out to the farm and actually turning my phone off completely. I could do it because you just literally flick a button, don't you? But that's the next step, going out there and not actually turning the phone on with a little bit of internet that I do have. So that's my goal somewhere in the near future, is to go out to the farm and actually turn my phone off. So watch that space, guys. Keep me accountable to that, will you, somewhere along the line, next time I go out to the farm, which is probably on the weekend. See, things like, it's my birthday next Monday and I haven't even closed my calendar off. I've got calls on my birthday. Like, how stupid is that? Anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you today. Just, sharing with you my Easter weekend. Got a pretty full-on week ahead. We've got the Lead Magnet Bootcamp in the coaching community. So if you want to be part of that, you can get in for $1 for a 3-day trial. There's no lock-in periods. You can get out when you like, but all that detail is above. We're going to learn how to create resources for you, build your brand, and, put helpful information out there that you can create yourself and hopefully build an email list. If you are building a business online, you should be building an email list. Just no question about it. Okay, guys, so lovely to be back with you. You will see me here, same time, same place tomorrow. I truly do hope that you had a lovely Easter yourself. If it was productive or relaxing or all of the above, I just hope you had a really good one. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, bye.